It's Thursday. Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Awesome Sauce Thursday, and we're here to talk about tomatoes. My name's Lauren, otherwise known as Mrs. Tomato Head, and I come every Thursday at this time to basically gush about tomatoes for 2 hours. Why 2 hours, you say? How can people talk about tomatoes for 2 hours, you say? I don't know. But we do, and I've done it for a couple of years now every Thursday. And many of you crazies are here with me every week too, so welcome. If it's your first time watching, we're an interactive broadcast, and I try to get as many comments on the screen as I can. So drop us a line, let us know that it's your first time, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know if you're new to tomatoes or if you're just discovering us and you've been growing a long time, or just say hi. Also, we have some great prizes to give away at the end of the show. If you've never watched before, the way to win is to put in the comments just hashtag tomato. You only need to do it once. And I'll do a drawing at the end of the show. We've got some great prizes. One of them I'll explain a little bit in a few minutes. But hope you're all doing well. There won't be a show next week. Pretty sure there's not going to be a show next week. We're going away. My parents they live in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. They have like a mountain lake home there. So we're going to spend the 4th of July weekend. For those of you not in the United States, it's our 250th anniversary on the 4th of July. 1776 to 2026, so it's kind of a big one here in the U.S. So anyway, my whole family's going to my parents' house, and I think we're leaving Thursday afternoon. So no show next week. It won't be for 2 more weeks. I didn't get to do a garden tour yesterday. I don't really even have a great excuse. Well, I sort of have a good excuse. I started, I could have recorded the tour in the morning, but I kind of got sidetracked with other things in the garden. Then I had an appointment. So I'm thinking I may do one this week, and I have so much to show you in the garden. The plants are looking amazing. We had some good rain this week, which is kind of unusual. The last 2 summers we've had a drought. In fact, I think we may get rain again on Saturday. So the plants are exploding. I've got tomatoes. I've even got a tomato to taste today, believe it or not. It's a tomato that I started like super early, and I'll explain in a couple of minutes. So it's not like my regular planted tomatoes are starting to ripen, because they're not. It's still too early for that. But soon, probably a couple weeks, I've got lots of tomatoes on lots of plants, and others, lots of flowers. I go out there, like as soon as the show's over, I'm going to be walking around out there, and I just stare at them and I will them to ripen. And I look at how many tomatoes are on there, and I strap things up with my garden Velcro. It's my happy place. That and the beach, which is where I was last weekend, which you may see the little more than my regular garden tan. We were at the beach, Bethany Beach in Delaware, for my sister-in-law's 60th, and we had a nice beach day on Saturday. So anyway, let's see who's here today, and then we'll get to some other announcements and all that stuff. We have Susan. Susan's been our consistent #1 lately. She's knocking poor Sherman out with the time change. Hey, Susan. Happy Thursday to you. And our friend Drew's here. Hi, Drew. And Mayor from Afar is here. Happy Awesome Sauce Day. Thank you to you, too. Sitting in the salon chair and getting my tomato talk on. Happy Thursday, y'all. Happy Thursday to you, my friend. And Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa. And Leslie. Glad to see you guys. We have 63 live viewers right now, which is awesome sauce. Make sure you guys get in your hashtag tomato. Hey, Roxanne. Thanks for tuning in. And Tara Dove is here. And we've got Rowena's here from Canada. And we've got Blah Blah. And we've got Harley, who's no longer Harley the Swamp Bitch. She's Harley Elizabeth now. I like Swamp Bitch, though. Hey, Mike. Thanks for tuning in. We've got Julia's here. And we've got Lucas Wallman is here. Lucas, I almost talked about Koa today on the show, and I didn't. My plant's looking great. Has lots of fruit on it. And my Ville jar plants are looking great. You probably saw my pictures yesterday. So I've got a lot of this is be my third year growing Lucas Wallman varieties. So although I know Koa is not yours, I know that was bred by your friend, but you gave it to me. So um, who else do we have? Linda's here and Kim's here. Kim, how are you feeling? Must be getting down to the wire. I wish I could see you. Your photos are just precious. Hi, Pretty. Thanks for tuning in. And Satya's here. Hello to you. And Janet's here. Happy Tomato Thursday. Sorry I'm late, by the way. I spend all day on Thursday getting ready for the show, which I love. And normally I'm like, I cut it right to the time. It's 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, my time when I start. And normally I just make it. And today I was like, I needed 5 extra minutes. And as it is, one of the varieties I was going to talk about today, I made the slide, apparently forgot to save the slide. So I won't be talking about that today because I want to show pictures and all that stuff. I'm a visual person. I can talk about tomatoes all day and not show pictures, but to me, I may as well just skip it and do it next week because I need pictures. I want to see what it looks like. Hey, Linda. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. And Achilles here. I'll be in and out today. Hopefully I catch any singing. Oh, yeah. What can I sing today? I don't know. I have to fly by the seat of my pants on that one. Oh, no. I just thought of something. There's a variety I can't believe I've never talked about on this show that I've grown and I love, and I'm growing it again. And it is a song. Hey, Nicole. Thanks for tuning in. And I skipped over Mariah, I think. Hi, Mariah. And Anne is here. Hello. Hi, Terry. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys don't know, I run a community on Facebook called Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. I run it with Jen Joy and Kina Tonarud. We're about to celebrate our 3rd-year anniversary, and we're about, I think, 15, 20 members away from hitting 12,000 members, which is crazy. We decline a lot. People that don't answer questions or, whatever. I was looking yesterday. We seem to decline about a quarter of what comes in. And with feedback saying, please answer the questions. It's not like, you're out. But so it's just crazy that we have 12,000 members. And I don't know the date yet. Do I have it up here? We also run sister group Pepper Lovers Collective and Swap. And I think we're exactly 100 members away from reaching 5,000 members in PLC. Ken is going to do a special show hopefully next week. He's going to check his schedule, but he'll be doing a special 5,000 member show. I had done one for our 4,000. This was before Ken was doing his own show. He's got a show on normally on Tuesdays. I think he's had to cancel the last couple of weeks. Ken's Pepper Show. Very similar to this show, except for peppers. So we will keep you guys posted. But for those of you in PLC or whatever, if you want to take part in the celebration, if you have any donations that you'd like to give, we never actually come out and ask for donations. But if anybody wants to, donate to Ken to give away prizes or whatever for our special anniversary or special member show, please contact Ken. You can reach out to me too, but it's better if you cut out the middleman and reach out to Ken. Quite an accomplishment, 5,000 members. It seems like in TLC we were just there like not long ago, and all of a sudden we've got 12,000 tomato heads, just about. Anyway, in TLC, every fall through winter, we do something called Micropalooza. And for those of you that may be new to the group, if you're not in the group, join us, please. We're on Facebook, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. You will love it, and your life and your garden will never be the same. Very kind, generous people. For Micropalooza, so what we do is we grow micro dwarfs indoors during the winter to beat those winter blues and have some tomatoes coming in. And we've done it the last 3 years. Will this be our 4th year? I think this will be our 4th year. I think we started it the first year, so 2023, 24, 25. Yeah, this will be our 4th Micropalooza, which is crazy. We've messed around with the start date. We've done September, we've done October. I think the first year we may have done November. I want to hear from you guys, and maybe I'll put a poll in the group too. But when would you like to start? So I kind of like September. The only bad part with September is it's still very much tomato season for many of us whose tomato season is going on right now. So a lot of times, like, we really can't be bothered with starting micro dwarf tomatoes. I keep starting micros. I've got some growing inside here and my own crosses and all that. But if you want to drop it in the comments, let us know. Would you prefer to start in September, October? I suppose we could do August too, but that's a little early. And November's a little late, I think. So let us know, September or October. There's no, you know, anybody can do it, and there's nothing to commit to. It's really just a personal challenge type thing. You can grow as many as you want. And then every Friday I put up like a progress post where you can post pictures of your progress. But it's no saving seeds or any, well, I mean, you can save seeds, but we don't have, it's not like a grow out or anything like that. But then you have seeds to share with our friends. We have Micro Dwarf Monday every Monday in Tomato Lovers Collective, where you can swap seeds. And there's some great micro dwarfs out there now. They used to be kind of tasteless, and there's some really good ones. So let me know in the comments if you'd like September or October for Micropalooza. All right, who else do we have here? We have, did I say hi to you yet, Kelly? Hey, Kelly. Made it home in time for the show. Hi, everyone. Hi there. Thanks for tuning in. And Angela. And we've got Wildman's here. And Melissa's here. Come here, buddy. Come here, Ruru. The kittens are getting so big, I kind of want to stop feeding them. They're so sweet. Hey, Christy. Thanks for watching. And Jamie's here. Hi, everyone. Not sure how long I will be able to stay, but glad I could be here with you. Yay for Thursdays. Yay for Thursdays is right. So in August 9th, Jamie and Malachite Jen are going to be doing a West Coast Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap tomato tasting and seed swap. We're doing one on the East Coast at the end of August with the West Coast one in Lodi, California. They are running, thank you ladies, August 9th, 2026. You can reach out to Jamie Hill or Jennifer Fox, is Malachite Jen's real name, get more details. But that's exciting. And then Jen and I will be running the East Coast one again. This is our 2nd year in a row doing that in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And you don't have to live on the East Coast to come, and you don't have to live on the West Coast to go to the West Coast one either. But bring your tomatoes if you can. I will have, God willing, lots of tomatoes to taste, and then you can bring pre-packaged seeds to share. It's a lot of fun. We do our plant swap in the spring, and we do our tomato tasting and seed swap in the fall. Last year we did end of September, and I did have some tomatoes to taste, but most of them, like by the end of September, they just aren't tasting good. I get septoria, and it kind of takes a lot of the flavor out of tomatoes. So we moved it up 1 month. So Friday, August 28th. Be there, be square. Who else do we have? Mary's here. Hey, Mary. And Natalia's here, my favorite tomato heads. And Francis is here. Hello, my friend. Hey, and after Francis, we've got Sherman. Hey, Sherman. Better late than never. Absolutely better late than never. Francis says you're on island time for sure. Nice hair. Thank you. Thank you. Got my natural blonde put back in yesterday. Hi, Heidi. Thanks for being here. Natalia says, picking up here for a minute or two and then going to nap because I work 12-hour night shift today in the OR. Please send good vibes and prayers my way. Sending good vibes and prayers your way for sure. Oh, thanks, Kelly. I appreciate it. A lot of times in the summer, Like I wear a claw clip in my hair. If you guys have ever watched my garden tours, it's like bandana, claw clip. So most of the time I'm not seeing my hair. And then when I had to dress like a real grown up over the weekend to go to the beach, I'm like, oh my gosh, the roots, the roots. Couple guys in the group, like I always joke, have to get the natural blonde put back in my hair or get rid of those pesky grays. And couple of the men in the group were like, go gray. It's like a turn on if you go, not me specifically, but just women in general. If you go gray, and somebody insinuated that I have a problem with my age. I do not have a problem with my age. I'll be 57 next month. I'm just not ready to go gray yet. That's all. I've been blonde all my life and just not ready to go gray yet. And I don't think I have enough gray to like go gray yet. It's like strands. So when I'm like almost all gray, I'll go gray. I have no problem with going gray, but for now, blondes have more fun. 2 hours is nothing. I can talk tomatoes all day, every day. Me too, for sure. It's funny. I think when I started the show a couple of years ago, I had intended on doing an hour, and then I think it moved to 90 minutes. And then it was consistently 2 hours. So now I just say 2 hours. For anybody tuning in for the first time, I'm sure they're like, this woman's insane, like 2 hours. But you guys know how it goes. And I like to say hi to everybody. Sewing Wolf watching from Connecticut. Hey there. I don't know if you're your first time watching, but I'm not sure if I remember your name. Thanks for tuning in. Love Connecticut. Happy Thursday to you, Larissa. And Teresa's here. Hey, friends, sorry I'm late. You just reminded me, Teresa, I was going to talk about a variety today that I believe I gave you seeds for years ago, and I know it's a favorite of both of ours, and I didn't put it on my list. Maybe next week. I'll have to remember for next week. Oh, nice. My neck of the woods. Enjoy your vacation. Yeah, my parents, it's not technically the Poconos. They live in Hazleton. If you know where Hazleton is, it's a resort community called Eagle Rock. They're big golfers. So it was their second home. They lived close to me here in New Jersey for, 20 years or so. And then, they needed to downsize. It was a great big house. They needed to downsize. So now they live there full time. And it's always nice to go and visit and just kind of unplug. The internet there's terrible, which is really kind of nice. So we will be celebrating the 4th there. Hi, Judith from England, cooking dinner, so I will just listen. Glad you're here, Judith from England. Mountain Lake sounds divine right now. It does. I know. We've got beach last weekend, garden this weekend, although I think it's supposed to rain a lot on Saturday, but I'm just about done. Although when I say that, then I'm like, oh, these sucker plants are looking big. Maybe I could stick those in a grow bag. Missoura's almost there. Yay! I hope you like it as much as I do. I think Francis really liked it. Somebody else in the group. Oh, I think it was Amy. Wasn't it Amy who said it was fantastic? Well, like one of her favorites of the year, which made me feel really good. Because I know I gush about these tomatoes that I love. And it's like, you gotta have it, gotta have it, gotta have it. It's probably not really fair because we don't all have the same taste buds. And so I always feel like I hope I'm not letting people down when I tell them that Missoura is really great or Malapine's really great. But Amy Dorroy really seemed to enjoy it too. So I hope you guys like it. I'm growing 3 plants again myself this year because I loved it so much. We got 13.5 inches Tuesday morning in a very short time. Wrecked my garden. I have about 5 tomato plants that may survive. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Boy, it's been a rough year for people with weather, disease, bad soil, and I know it's probably not any different from other year. I guess it's just people that I'm close to. I am seeing these things happen, and it's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. So I'm sorry. I'm glad you still have 5 plants, but I know that's probably, you probably lost a lot, and I'm really, really sorry about that. I say it all the time, we spend the entire year like trading seeds, buying seeds, and then we start them in our favorite way. We start them and we nurture them and we foster them as they grow into these beautiful seedlings, and then we plant them, and then we are at the total mercy of outside circumstances, weather, disease, everything. You just never know. I'm sorry to hear that. Jess, exciting to have a tomato to taste. We have our first ripe tomato today. Yellow Patio Choice, the Juan Flem, I don't know how you pronounce it, are on the edge of blushing enough to pick. I have not grown Patio Choice, but I think I've told you I did grow Jaune Flem. Oh, I don't know why every year I'm like, I really need to regrow that. It's so, so good. I hope you enjoy it, Jess. Um, yeah, it's like, it makes you pucker, but for an early tomato especially, it's got so much flavor. It's like biting into, I think I described it a couple years ago when I grew it for the first time. It's almost like biting into a citrus fruit. Makes you pucker, but in the best way possible. Southwest Virginia still has a drought and our reservoir is nearly dry. Ours was too. We don't normally have rain. We haven't for years, but we had a pretty good rain. One day I couldn't go outside at all, and that says a lot because I go outside in the rain. The other day was kind of drizzly. Oh, Jeff, I saw you comment, and I think I forgot to put it on the screen. I didn't intentionally skip you. Speaking of Jeff, hang on, let me get rid of this. So let me tell you about our prizes today, and I'll explain a little bit. So Olivia Lai, who donates every week unless she's away, she goes away for a month or so. But thank you, Olivia. She's donating for one lucky member, Orange Russian, Oaxacan Jewel, Nemu Variegated Dwarf, Midnight Sun, Marcia Starfighter Beefsteak, Monkey Ass, Mushroom Bastic, Mademoiselle Fourier, Lavender Lakes, and Zebra Easel. So thank you, Olivia. And our friend Mike Williams is giving away for 2 people 10 of his varieties. You get to choose. So thank you, Mike. And special prizes today. Jeffrey Raymaker from Secret Seed Cartel is giving away one of these t-shirts, United States and France. So he bought the business from Terry and Sebastian in France, and he's in the United States, so it's a cool, badass shirt. One of those, and then for 2 other people, $25 gift cards to Secret Seed Cartel. If you're not aware, Secret Seed Cartel, you can get 20% off always with the code TLC20, stands for Tomato Lovers Collective. Thank you, Jeff. You can go to secretseedcartel.com. If you're not aware, this is kind of recent, but Jeff is looking to expand his inventory and what he offers for seeds. So he came to me a couple months ago, I guess, kind of asking for, ideas. And I have so many seeds, and I give out so many seeds, more than I can ever give out. I spend weekend, not so much in the summer, but all winter long, I spend full weekends giving out seeds, and I love it so, so much. But it's still like impossible for me to give them out. So I donated some seeds to him at Secret Seed Cartel. So he added it as a collection. If you go to Secret Seed Cartel and you scroll down, there's me, Lauren's awesome sauce collection, which looks kind of funny. But so the seeds that I've donated, can you see all this? Are all up here with my photos. And I felt strange accepting money for it. It's a donation, but he has agreed for every sale he will donate $1 towards the Lupus Foundation of America, which is a organization that's near and dear to my heart. I've lived with lupus since 2001, and 100% of what they get for donations goes to research. So you can check out Lauren's Awesome Sauce collection. They're all my seeds, and I'm sure I'll be donating more in the future. But really happy to donate these. Lots of Jarsons, lots of Sophias. It's certainly not everything in my collection. And I still, oh, absolutely will be giving away free seed. So it's not like I'm doing this instead of giving away seeds. That's not the case at all. I just wanted to help out, um, help him, get more things in his inventory. And he was looking to add Sophia's. I had more Sophia seeds from last year. Sophia Sakava is what I'm referring to. Um, More than I could ever give out. I'm a pretty rabid seed saver. I save from like every tomato. So happy to be collaborating with Jeff on that, and you can check it out. And like I said, $1 from the sale of each one of those in my collection will go through him to the Lupus Foundation of America. So thanks for agreeing to that, Jeff. So there you go. So make sure you type in hashtag tomato and you can win one of these shirts, two $25 gift cards, a seed prize from Olivia, and then 2 seed prizes from Mike. Thank you guys for donating. All right, let's get to a couple more comments and then we'll start talking tomatoes. Was there anything else I had to offer or had to say? Micropalooza, we got that. Pepper Lovers Collective and Swap, narrowing in on 5,000 members. Carlisle, yep, I got it all. Okay. Mary says, we've been flooded here in northeast Oklahoma the last several days. Unusual for this time of year. It's usually really rainy March and April, but this year it waited. Hope all is okay. Hi, Ramenta. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's garden's doing great. My beautiful daughter and I are on the way to strawberry farm. We need some fresh strawberries to sweeten our life. I'm so thankful for summer. What a nice thing to do. I don't know if I shared this last Thursday. I think I did. I have 2 good friends. It happens to be a mother and a daughter. I'm kind of halfway in between them as far as age goes. We've been friends for a couple decades now. They actually were at the middle school where my kids went to, they were the choreographer and the director of the kids' musicals. So we became tight through there. I was a volunteer, but so every year we go strawberry picking together, and we were supposed to go last Tuesday at 1:00, and we get there, and apparently they closed at 1:00. So I thought we rescheduled for this week, but I haven't heard from either one of them. So maybe we'll do next week instead, because I need some fresh strawberries too. Hi, Mike. Happy Friday Eve to you. Thanks for watching. It seems like it has been so much longer than 3 years. Feels like I have been friends with many in TLC for ages already. That's such a good point, isn't it, Mary? Like I knew some of you from another group prior to TLC, but most of you I did not. And yeah, it's these characters in your life, these wonderful people who most of them will give you the shirt off their back and every seed that they have. It does feel like longer. We really do become like family. It's very nice. I told a local lady about TLC and inspired garden life. Had on my t-shirt and she clocked it right away. Hoping to grow tomatoes in our community. Nice. Thanks, Julia. We love Inspired Garden Life. So next week would technically be their show where they donate the first of the month. So we'll do that the following Thursday. And they've got a lot of exciting things going on that we'll be sharing about. Good afternoon to you, Labby Angel, 4497. Thanks for tuning in. I think September too, Mary. That's where I'm thinking. We did September. I think, did we do September this year or last year? I think we did. And we start getting micros for Christmas. That's exactly my thought too. I have loved it. Everyone is very helpful and kind and also enablers. I have so many on my grow list already. I'm so glad to have you. Mid-October. Well, it's going to be the first of the month just to keep it easier. So it would be October 1st or September 1st. Melissa, I'm looking forward to giving it a try. Micropalooza sounds like fun. It really is. It's fun watching everybody's progress and all of that. And it's low stress, it's not like you're committing to sending a certain amount of seeds in. Maybe someday, if you guys are interested, we could do a grow out type thing. But since we do our regular grow outs during the season that may be a little much. It's really just for fun. I'm hoping for ripe tomatoes so I can hopefully share seeds as so many other generous members have. Let me tell you, Linda, we've all been there. Um, we have all been there over the years since starting TLC. I've seen so many excited members come in and they're feeling a little guilty because everybody's donating to them, and they feel like, I think people mistakenly feel that everybody's keeping track. Like, I gave you seeds, what am I getting back? And I can tell you with 100% certainty that not a single person would be. Well, I can't say that, but the vibe of our community is not like that. But I understand what it is like. You know, you want to build up your collection, so you've got great things to share because that sharing is part of it. I love giving more than receiving, but I will tell you, I've got some fantastic things out in my garden right now, thanks to many of you who have, found me incredibly rare seeds from all over the world. So, but I was talking to Akeelia about this earlier. Oh, I guess that was yesterday. Feels like it was earlier today. Giving feels so good, doesn't it? I'm sure all of you think the same way. My Reuben Chihuahua, I heard you call Ruru, and I thought you were talking to him. Oh, hi, Reuben. You're a good boy. You're a good boy, Reuben. Ruru, come here. And Hopper sleeping on the couch over there. Jess says October might be easier for me. Would definitely like to try growing some indoors this year. We'll need to get tips from the group for setup. I have a video actually growing micro dwarf tomatoes indoors start to finish. That may help you out. I have more grow lights. I have these tabletop grow lights that are fantastic. I don't know if I can pull one over here. Here it is. They're expandable. This one's an Arrow Garden. There's 3 companies that make the same thing. Oop. Although I think Arrow Garden is the only one that is still making it. I've got a mixture of that same light from Root Farm and also Black Magic, but I think those 2 are not doing it anymore. But Arrow Garden is now back in business and they sell it. I like it. It's expandable, and even when the micros have reached the top, I can prop the legs up on other things and raise it. But I mean, that's just my setup. There's a million ways you can do it. There's some really cheap grow lights. Doesn't really matter. But it sure is fun growing them indoors, I have to say. I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and it really does help beat the winter blues. And if you look in our group guides, we have a micro mini dwarf spreadsheet that I've been compiling for a couple of years now. And I have not grown every micro dwarf, not even close, but maybe half of them I've grown. I put my reviews on there because, like I said earlier, there are so many that are tasteless, but there's some really good ones out there, like Paws Pride is an example. Lauren, did you mention an Alabama meetup, or did I dream that? I was approached about one, but I'm not sure if it's still happening. I haven't heard anything recently. If whoever mentioned it to me is here and wants to say anything, let me know. I'm not sure if it's happening or not. You did not dream it. I did mention it, but I'm not sure. I know it was an idea that was being tossed around, but I'm not sure if it is coming to fruition or not. Oh, yes. Good point, Mary. Yes. Thank you. If Micropalooza starts in September, folks can still start their seeds to participate in October too. Excellent point. And November, and December, and January even. That's just, you can't start before the start date, which is really kind of just a way of being a nudge, honestly. But that's the start date. People can start weeks later. So if September 1st doesn't work for you, you can start whenever you want. That's just the start date. I need to get some micro seeds so I can maybe join Micropalooza. Check out our Monday post, Linda, Micro Dwarf Mondays. You can, just like our Saturday post of Seed Seeking Saturday, Mondays, you can put up to 5 varieties. And check out our group spreadsheet that I just mentioned. You can look at the list there. It's pretty up to date, I think. And you can see you want to pay attention to the height because a lot of vendors use the term micro dwarf very loosely. And, they've got putting a micro dwarf on there that grows 24 to 30 inches. I call those mini dwarfs, as do some other vendors. But you want to be careful because while 24 inches seems small, inside it's really not. So you have to have you have to know what kind of setup you can do. But check out the spreadsheet and definitely check out Microdwarf Monday. All right, a couple more and then we'll start talking tomato. Oh, and then I've got a tomato to taste. How am I not busting at the seams to try this? Do you know what I have, you guys? Lime in the coconut. It's a small one. And honestly, in my experience, the first tomato isn't always as good as the rest of them. But it is my first one. I started seeds for lime in the coconut very early this year. This is a variety for those of you that may not know. This is bred by Angwe, otherwise known as Phil Seneca from Good Mind Seeds. We're doing a grow out for him in the group this year. I grew out a whole bunch of his stuff last year. I'm growing a whole bunch this year as well. And this and Prince Charming's Bastard were two varieties that many of us were seeking for years. I'm looking at you, Julia Peacock. I know you've been looking for both of those for years. So this is a white, technically pale yellow, but it is a white. So I started the seeds early because they're older seeds. Angwe kind of came back into the picture after being gone for about a decade in the tomato world, I should say. And he gave seeds, so they were older seeds, so I wasn't sure if they would germinate or not. They germinated just fine. So my Angwe tomato, there's a tomato named Angwe also. That is a little further along than a lot of my plants, and lime in the coconut. So I've got fruits on both of those. And then this little guy I picked yesterday. I have a feeling, let's go to that slideshow. So here's the photo of his from his website. This is dating back to around 2016, I believe. So I'm guessing that this one is small compared to what we'll get, but I'm not positive. I know Prince Charming's Bastard is giving us small fruits. That, however, is on a dwarf plant. These are large plants. The correct is potato leaf. I will read you what Angwe says on his website. For those of you that did get seeds for this, it does present as both regular leaf and potato leaf. And he's asked that we push forward the potato leaf. Let me read you what it says on the website. It says, just what the doctor ordered. And when I say the website, he is no longer selling, but the website is a great reference. It's goodmindseeds.com. Just what the doctor ordered. Tropical fruitiness and a hint of citrus come together in the ivory white flesh of lime in the coconut tomato, which actually does taste as though there is a hint of coconut. Selecting from multiple mother plants to maintain genetic broadness, lime in the coconut has potato leaf foliage the majority of the time. The thick vines grow to be 6 feet long in ideal conditions and do not stop producing new fruits and flowers until they meet the frost. The flattened round fruits have a thick meaty center that can be used diced into fresh white and green salsas and pico, or it can be cooked into an ivory yellow tomato sauce that will change the way you look at white pizza forever. If you enjoy midnight margaritas, why not include some magical white salsa and organic corn tortilla in the tradition? Put the lime in the coconut, and then you'll feel better. So the color to me looks just like Angwe and Prince Charming's Bastard, actually. Both of those are considered to be white tomatoes that have this pale yellow. It actually looks just like the picture, doesn't it? So I wouldn't go by, I wouldn't go by this size and think, oh, those are small. It was like small tomato that started growing on the plant even before I planted it. So take this with a grain of salt, even my taste test. I'm going to taste it. It feels nice and soft. There's still a little bit of green there, but I know from tasting Angway ES last year, and the top is very soft. I'm afraid if I leave it, it will just get mealy. So I'm going to cut open the center. Who's excited for this, huh? Thanks, Linda. Nothing wrong with coloring your hair. Blondes are awesome sauce. Your hair looks beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, somebody said something about it's not authentic if you color your hair. And I'm like, I think I'm pretty darn authentic. Last week I was talking about it being my sobriety date. I think I'm pretty authentic, but women wear makeup, right? Same kind of thing. Let's see what this beauty looks like. Oh, it's pretty. And for those of you in the Angway ES Grow Out, Leslie, especially if you're watching, seedless, no seeds. There are a couple. The tomato Angway ES has very few seeds, and we were talking about that in the chat. Yeah, it's pretty meaty. Are there seeds? I think that's a seed. I don't want to eat any seeds. Seeds are hard to come by. All right. Let's test the bricks with this. It's called a refractometer. For those of you that may not know, it measures the sugars in tomatoes. Also things like people use it for beer making, and diabetics can use it if they need to know the sugars of something. Wow, this really is pretty seedless. But again, it's just the first little funky tomato, so we don't know for sure. It's not very juicy either. Ooh, it's like no juice. Come on, I just need a little bit. Wow, weird. I'm squeezing the heck out of it. I can't get a drop. Let's try the other side. Holy smokes. Not a drop. All right, I'm going to try blotting. I'm making a mess of this. Weird. I've never had a tomato not have juice. All right, well, I'm not sure I can get any. Okay, now that I've just mutilated it. I don't taste coconut, but it's good. It's citrusy. And again, take this with a grain of salt. This isn't my official taste test of lime and the coconut. That is to come. It's just the first little funky tomato. I was thinking it would taste the same as Angway ES. It doesn't. It's not as sweet. But it's good. I didn't think I was going to eat the whole thing. I was going to save seeds, but there wasn't one seed in here. It's a little citrusy, tangy. It's delightful, actually. I would guess the bricks wouldn't be much on that, but again, just the first funky tomato. That's not going to be my official review. I just thought, hey, I've got this tomato here. Let's taste it. But yeah, it's citrusy and tangy. Doesn't taste like coconut. We'll see what the rest of the season brings. The plant looks great. It's probably close to 5 feet tall now. Big, big potato leaves. Who else is growing lime in the coconut? Sorry, I'm missing some comments here. There's something going on in here. That's so too cool to have a selection available on Secret Seed Cartel. Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. I'm happy to help out. I'm really thrilled about the donation to Lupus Foundation of America. They're a great organization. We need more research. A lot of money goes into cancer research. Very little goes into things like lupus. So we need we need more research. And so I thought that was a really good compromise. I love that sales from your seeds benefit such an amazing cause. Thank you. Me too. Me too. I was happy to donate. And Jeff felt strange about me just donating. So I think we're both happy with this. Hi, Chastity. Nice to see you. I feel like it's been a while. Hey, Eric. We just got back from mowing my dad's lawn. I taught Teddy to drive the riding mower. He was excited. He said, "Hi, Mrs. Tomato Head." Hi, Teddy. How's your plant? I'm sure you're a good plant watcher, plant grower. I hope I get to see you in August if you're coming back. Hey, Andrea. Hello, my tomato family. I so look forward to these each Thursday. An MMMM style micropalooza swap, Lauren, like Jen does for Shamrock's swap. Maybe what happens is after our grow outs, Kina, Jen, and I were pretty exhausted. So, and then by the spring, we're all looking to get our seeds together. But maybe I've definitely thought of it before, and it could be fun. And there's some great micros out that we could do that. 99% of what I'm growing is because of TLC, best group ever. I'm so happy to hear that. I can totally concur that most of us love sharing and encouraging other new tomato friends to get hooked by the collection bug too. You hit it right on the nose there, Francis. It's like when new people come in, I want them to love it so badly. If they say they don't have micros or whatever, I'm like, here, take all this. And you just hope that they get the bug because it's fun to have the bug. For those of you that are tuning in late, make sure you type in #tomato. We've got some great prizes from Secret Seed Cartel, Mike Williams, and Olivia Lai. And let's talk about more tomatoes. So that was lime in the coconut. You put the lime in the coconut. All right, next one. Purple Dog Creek. Randy Sign, Dr. Randy Sign, was the one that put this out into circulation, and these are his words. My seeds came from Jim Wyant. For those of you that may not know Jim Wyant, he's a wonderful vendor who kind of specializes in Appalachian heirlooms. I think I have a banner for him. I talked about him last week. I showcased a lot of the varieties that he sells last week. You can find him on Facebook. That's how you order from him. Jim Wyant 79. He's also in TLC, so you can find him in there. And you can private message him. He will send you a list of what he has. His seeds are great. I was sharing last week what his seed packets look like. They look like this. Photo, all the details right on the seed packet. Great seeds. He's a wonderful person too. So I got my seeds for Purple Dog Creek from him. So Randy Sign says Purple Dog Creek is another variety that I found or introduced. It's a regular leaf pink beefsteak with outstanding flavor. Several commercial seed companies, including Maris Seeds, offer it. However, I've noticed a bit of this is an old write-up. I don't think Maris Seeds is selling any longer. However, I've noticed a bit of variation in the story. So here it is from the horse's mouth. Members of the Winchester Avenue Church in Martinsburg, West Virginia, did charity work in depressed rural Appalachian communities. They did renovations of churches and barns and basically helped out in whatever way they could. At one of the communities in the Purple Dog Creek region of Kentucky, near Munfordville, a picnic dinner was given as a thank you. Mr. Bill Hoffman, as if he could take asked if he could take a couple of the tomatoes with him for his friend. Bill brought the tomatoes back to Martinsburg and gave them to my friend Spud Rainey. Spud, what a name that is, Spud. Spud ate one to taste it and saved seeds from the other. Spud then called me and said, "I've got a good one. You might want to come get seeds." I traded with people and listed it in the Seed Savers Exchange, and Spud sells through the West Virginia Market Bulletin. Between us, we got the tomato into circulation. Contrary to what you may read elsewhere, the preacher of the Winchester Avenue Church was not present at the picnic dinner, and Bill Hoffman brought back tomatoes, not seeds. And then Jim Wyatt has, oh wait. Oh, it sounds like there's a regular leaf and a potato leaf version. Okay. Jim Wyatt says it's regular leaf. He says the medium large rounded beefsteaks are a lovely shade of pink. The flavor is well balanced, sweet, and slightly tangy. If they gave out blue ribbons for taste alone, this tomato would be sure to win. We might call it pink, but in times past, this tomato color was called purple. I can see that from those pictures. These photos are actually from Randy's sign on Facebook. They weigh around 1 pound each. They produce even better with a lot of rain, as do most purple tomatoes. Anybody grown Purple Dog Creek? Pretty says growing lime in the coconut by my plant is still small. Mine would be too. Like I said, I started like March 8th or something like that and just kind of kept it going. So that explains the small mutant tomato. I'm glad it doesn't taste like coconut. I have several tomatoes on Prince Charming's Bastard. Good. Yeah, I've got a good number. I've just started more seeds for Prince Charming's Bastard so I can save seeds. It's not the most productive variety. I found I did grow it indoors over the winter, which I wouldn't use that as a gauge, but I noticed on my plant, which I'm growing in I think a 7-gallon grow bag, just to see what it could do. It's got a good handful of tomatoes on it, maybe 6 to 10, but it's definitely not loaded. I don't know if you guys are finding the same. Somebody else, I was talking to somebody else yesterday. I won't use his name, but he had said the same thing, that he only has a couple. Julie says, my Tutti Frutti stuff. Oh yeah, this Tutti Frutti stuff has zero juice. I've gotten 3 fruits. It's strange. I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, I was squeezing the heck out of this thing. I couldn't get juice or seeds. Couldn't find a single seed. But again, we'll see what the season brings. Sometimes those first mutant tomatoes don't taste like the tomato. I would argue that Angwei, the tomato, had a little bit of a tropical, like almost pineapple flavor to it. I'm not sure I'd say coconut, but it was tropical. So I was kind of expecting that. This did not taste like Angwei. Hi, Will. Nice to see you. I missed last week. I'll have to check him out. I live and I'm from the Appalachian Mountains. He's fantastic. He's really, really great. As you can see, I've got a whole stack of varieties from him that I have yet to log on my master spreadsheet. And he's got great prices too. Great prices. Has all the information right on the seed packet. I forget what his prices are offhand, but it's really cheap and good quality seeds too. These garden adventures, I have Purple Dog Creek growing. First 2 were split, didn't have much flavor. I have 2 ripening in the cabinet to avoid the splitting, hoping they taste better. I hope so too. I always pick my fruits at first blush. As soon as they start turning, I take them off the plant and I put them on my kitchen counter, stem side down always. There are no truth to things tasting better when they're vine ripened. That's a myth, because tomatoes ripen from the inside first. They ripen from the inside out. You'll prevent splitting. You'll prevent pests getting them, bugs. You'll prevent all kinds of things. So take my advice. I promise I won't steer you wrong. But you want to make sure it's ripe when you taste it. Hey, Leslie. Nice to see you, my friend. I have huge fruit clusters of lime in the coconut. My Prince Charming's Bastard sized like a golf ball, which is right for Prince Charming's Bastard. I'm glad to hear the lime and the coconut are larger. I had a feeling that this was just a little mutant one. My other ones are, it was really just this one. Now I've got a bunch of beefsteaks growing, but they're still too small for me to gauge how large they will be. Julia says she grew it a few years back. It's a very nice purple. Mine got to 1.5 pounds, I think. That's nice. That's sad. It looks so tasty. Hopefully the others will be much better. I have no doubt that they will be much better. I hesitated to whether to taste it or not because, again, I never use like the first tomatoes for my official. And this one was kind of growing all by itself for a while. So it's nothing like what Angwei describes on his website. So I have no doubt that it will taste better. Although this was pretty good. It just didn't knock my socks off. But I can't wait for the others to come. Kim's growing lime in the coconut here. The leaves are enormous, aren't they? Angwei Eas leaves are enormous too. I can't talk. The potato leaves are really, really large. I was not able to get Prince Charming's Bastard to germinate at all, which was very disappointing, I'm sure. The good news, though, is that several of us are growing it now and we'll have seeds available. I gave out a whole bunch, but no, limited. I gave out some lime in the coconut also. Those I'm tapped out of. And this didn't help. Not a seed to be found. Do you pick the micros and dwarfs at first blush too? I do. Micros, especially if they're growing inside, like I have one of my micro projects over there. I've got a purple and green striped one that is ready to go. And I don't mind that because they're not prone to, the splitting and the pests and all of that. Dwarfs for sure, first blush. Heidi grew Purple Dog Creek last year. Pretty good. It's always a little disappointing when something you are expecting to be good doesn't live up to it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not even using this as a baseline. It was really just more for fun. I have no doubt it will be good. So please take that with a grain of salt. I had 3 Prince Charming that did not germinate either. That's disappointing. I did have limited seeds on the one plant that I grew indoors over the winter. So those were fresh seeds. Most of the seeds I gave out for it, though, were from Angwei, and those were, one of them was 2014, one of them was 2015. So they were a little bit older. I didn't actually have issues germinating, but I can understand where some of you might if they were older. Lauren, which tomato varieties have been the most disappointing for you ever? Honestly, it's a variety that was talked about in Tomato Lovers Collective just this morning. Amy Doroy put up a photo of Malachite Box Black. And I had 3 plants of that growing last year. I was really excited to get it. Little curious and confused as to how you could actually get a black variant from Malachite Box with the... but anyway, I'm a huge Malachite Box fan. That's a green one ripe. But I grew it. And I grew it in ground, in grow bag, in raised bed, 3 different options. I just hated it. I found it wasn't bad like Black Beauty, bad like that makes me want to throw up. But it was a spitter for me. It was and Rob. Rob thought the same thing. That was incredibly disappointing because I wanted to love it so badly. I'm very doubtful that it really has anything to do with Malachite Box, so the name's pretty unfortunate. But I know Amy really liked it, which she shared today. She said it's a good BLT tomato. I just didn't have the same experience, unfortunately. But taste is subjective, isn't it? It's very subjective. So I tend to like varieties that are really intensely flavored. And this just, I didn't find much flavor in it at all. And it didn't matter if grow bag, in-ground raised bed, same thing. So, yeah, that was the most disappointing for me. That's an easy one. All right, on to next tomatoes. Purple Dog Creek, next one. All right, I'm ready to sing, Akeelia. She wore a raspberry beret, the kind you find in a secondhand store. Raspberry beret. I can't believe I have never talked about this on the show. I have a master list. If you look at the show notes of this show, there should be a link in there which has my ongoing master list of all the varieties I've ever talked about on the show. I kind of find it hard to believe I've never at least mentioned it because I had this slide made already. But on the official show, maybe it was in and maybe it was an end of season. I don't know. But on my list, it's not on there. And I had to talk about it. I'm growing it again because I'm using it for a cross idea I have. But plus, it's delicious. This is a variety from Bill Yoder called Raspberry Beret. It was part of his first release a couple years ago from the Prince collection. In fact, he's still adding, he'll put out a collection. He released the Prince collection a couple years ago, and then he's just released a new one, Delirious, which is going in that collection. Bill had been on Tomato Talk Live with Jen and I and was telling us that he grew a bunch of the Prince collection were all dwarfs. And he said he grew a bunch of them in 1 gallon grow bags. So the photo on the right, that craziness, is actually in a 1 gallon grow bag. Do they love 1 gallon grow bags? No, they don't. It was much happier when I up potted to 2 gallon. Now I'm growing one in a 3 gallon, one in a 5 gallon. But besides all that, this is one delicious tomato. I did review it on my Instagram, so I've talked about it that way. We rated it an 8.5 out of 10, which is incredibly high review for us. And the brick score on that was a 10. A 10, which is almost unheard of, and more so cherries, but that's a very, very high brick score, which means it's a very sweet tomato. I'll read you what our review was and our thoughts. I started off with OMG exclamation point. This variety from Bill Yoder's Prince collection is insanely delicious. Not only are they gorgeous fruits, the taste is outrageous. Very full, intense flavor with lots of sweetness that lingers long after the last bite. Note, I grew this in a 1 gallon grow bag as an experiment and it did phenomenally well. Topped out at 18 inches, so could be considered a mini dwarf depending on what you grow it in. So perhaps I'm repeating myself, but I mentioned I'm growing one in a 5 gallon and one, or maybe it's one in a 3 gallon, one in a 5 gallon. I think that's it. I'm growing one in a 3 gallon, one in a 5 gallon. It did fine in a 1 gallon and it produced and gave me lots of good cherries. The plant will be smaller and your yield, how many fruits you get, will be smaller. But you can totally grow it in a 1 gallon pot or grow bag. My plant already has more on the 5 gallon than in the 3 gallon. So some people, like for Micropalooza, you could technically do this if you have a light high enough. And it's just delicious. I did grow it indoors the first time I grew it because I didn't want to wait for the summer. Happy to be growing it again. I did not grow it last year. I wrote a total winner. And then on Instagram, I said I did a live taste test of Bill Yoder's Raspberry Beret. I think I love it. On last week's episode of my Thursday live show. But I've just done another taste test just to have time to truly taste it and give it the review it deserves. Raspberry Beret is a winner. As an experiment, I grew the Prince collection in 1 gallon grow bags to see if they could grow indoors during the winter. While I have no doubt they would do even better in larger pots or in ground, Raspberry Beret topped out at 18 inches and is producing a fantastic amount of fruits. And the taste is swoon-worthy. Are you ready for this brick score? It measured a 10, which is absolutely incredible and sweet. I know by now many of you have grown this too. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Satya is growing it this year. Oh, is that when I tasted during the Bill interview? Well, we've had him on the show twice. the first time he was on. I didn't think I was growing it by then, but I could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot. Growing raspberry beret for the first time, excited. I just got seeds for this one. Oh, you won't be sorry. You won't be sorry. Nicole says, I love it. Fernanda, I'm finally getting some fruit starting on my raspberry beret. It's a crunchier cherry, which normally I don't love, but in this case, it totally works. And look at the coloring on it. Absolutely. Oh, I can't wait to taste them again. I talk myself into these things. Yeah, I'm so excited that I'm growing it again. Oh yeah, right, Terry, you're right. We did discuss. We discussed the 1 gallon pot thing with Bill, Jen, and I did on the show. In fact, I think I had pictures that he had shared with me. Um, and Jen and I were like, boom, growing indoors. Jeff says raspberry beret is an excellent Florida fall selection. It produced nonstop September through December for us. Is it safe to assume you have it at Secret Seed Cartel, Jeff? Anthony says, I give seeds away all the time of raspberry beret. It is 100% delicious. Agree. I wasn't a big fan of Little Red Corvette in 1999 from that collection. But raspberry beret I loved. I liked Controversy. I liked Beautiful Ones. But the antho flavor and those others, I'm not a big fan of the anthocyanin flavor, which is when you get a tomato that has like black on it, that's or like a dark purple. That's called anthocyanin, and it's got a strong flavor that I wish I was a fan of, but I'm really not. Linda says another to add to my grow list. You won't be sorry. It is a delicious cherry. Erin says, growing this one and so excited to taste it. Pretty says, I grew mine in a green stalk. It was so sour. Must have been a cuckoo. Interesting. It's definitely, with true to type, it's definitely not sour at all. That's unfortunate. Were you like fertilizing it and everything? Taste is subjective and also different states, climates, and soils. Absolutely true. Good, excellent point. I grew raspberry beret last year in 5 gallon pot, and it was only 2 to 2.5 feet tall, but was loaded with delicious fruit. Yeah, that's probably around. I think Bill actually says. I was on his site earlier and I forgot to write it down. I think he says true to type is around 3 feet tall. Olivia says, I grew raspberry beret last year in the ground and it was 3 feet tall. And yes, the fruits were delicious. They really are. Heidi says she grew hers on a green stalk and mine wasn't great either. Must not like the green stalk. I'm growing raspberry beret for the first time, but don't have any ripe fruit yet. Can't wait. And Jeff says they do sell it at Secret Seed Cartel. Don't forget, we get 20% off with coupon code TLC20 at Secret Seed Cartel. And you can check out the new Lauren Awesome Sauce collection. And then $1 from the proceeds of all the Lauren's Awesome Sauce collection go to the Lupus Foundation of America. For me, the most disappointing varieties have been Brad's Atomic Grape and Pink Berkeley Tie-Dye. The main issue was a lack of disease resistance. The plants ended up looking unhealthy. That's a bummer. Brad's Atomic Grape is one of those that people either love or they hate. Rob and I really liked it. But Pink Berkeley Tie-Dye is one of my all-time favorites that I find delicious. So sorry they weren't disease resistant for you. That's a bummer. My husband says everything I give him is mealy no matter how plain or exotic. Maybe this one will work. I can't imagine this one becoming mealy, so I think it could work for you. All right, we've got 96 live viewers. Don't forget to type in #tomato, and you can win $25 gift card to Secret Seed Cartel, one of these Awesome Sauce shirts, USA and France Secret Seed Cartel shirts, seeds from Mike Williams, and seeds from Olivia Lai. Okay. Next one. This is known by two names. Violet Jasper, the English name. This is from China. Don't know how you pronounce that other name. Tzibiu, Zbu, maybe. Um, I saw it spelled like a completely wacky way on a website in Ukraine. They completely, well, maybe it was in Ukrainian, I don't know. But here in the English speaking world, it's known as Violet Jasper. And you can get seeds at Tomato Fest. You can get seeds many places. Tomato Fest says it's a unique cultivar from China, first offered at Seed Saver's 2009 yearbook by Hristo Hristov of Bulgaria as CBU. Our Tomato Fest seeds produce large, sturdy, regular leaf plants that yield clusters of jewel-like 1.3-ounce smooth, purplish red tomatoes with iridescent green streaks and a dark purple-red flesh. Fruits start out with darker green stripes on typical unripe tomato green, and as they mature, the dark green stripes become slightly opalescent as the flesh darkens. I value this unique variety not as much for taste as for its ornamental quality, and it's rare. Tomato Faifu in Belgium says little tomato gem from China. Round fruits, 40 to 80 grams, cocktail type, about 3 to 4 centimeters in diameter. Superb reddish color verging on purple with greenish bands. Pleasant flavor, very vigorous plant, regular foliage, indeterminate growth. This variety is surprisingly early and productive, well suited to areas with short seasons or cool summers. So there we go. That is Violet Jasper. Who's grown this baby? I have not. Looks a little similar to Raspberry Beret, as a matter of fact. Violet Jasper looks delicious. It does look really good, doesn't it? Mary, I saw was it just yesterday you mentioned Little Red Corvette somewhere in the group? And I saw that you liked it. I wasn't a fan. I wanted to. I call Bill Yoder a wizard of color. The colors that he breeds, without, like, you don't need filters. I've never used a filter on a tomato picture. It's a big pet peeve of mine. But it almost looks like the people that filter, because his colors are so vibrant and like neon and crazy. Who needs that purple tomato? You've got Bill Yoder tomatoes. I keep telling him that he needs a hashtag no filter tomatoes. I don't know what that does exactly, but I'm like, your tomatoes, they're no filters needed. This one looks great. And anybody else grown it? Yvette, I didn't like Violet Jasper, no flavor. Okay, that's why this give and take is really important. And sometimes you can find somebody whose palate you feel is similar to yours, and that's always really helpful. Like, I think Jen and I have almost opposite palates. What I like, she doesn't like. What she likes, I don't like. I mean, not like set in stone, but we're very, I think we just have different things that we like in a tomato, which actually works out great for our show, to be honest with you. Because some of you may have more of a Jen palette, some of you may have more of a Lauren palette. Speaking of which, we're supposed to have a show next Friday. First Friday of the month. We're not going to be having a show next Friday because I will be out of town. So I have to talk to Jen, but chances are we will do it the following Friday, July 11th. No, sorry, July 10th. That's the Friday. Be there, be square. But we'll let you guys know. Andrew says, I grew Violet Jasper a few years ago, didn't have much flavor and was mealy. Beautiful though. Okay, this is helpful. Anybody grow it and like it? I have seeds started on this one. It's funny, you wouldn't look at it and think it could even be mealy. Interesting. I'm not sure if I've grown anything from China. Japan for sure. China, I'm not sure. But I do feature some Chinese varieties here on the show from time to time. Mary didn't care for it either. Too mild and very much not a tomatoey flavor. It tasted almost like a raw green bean. Oh, well, I love raw green beans, but not in my tomatoes, that's for sure. All right, thanks, guys. That's why I like this interactive show. It's really helpful. All right, moving on. We have the translation is something like tar tops striped. It's an F6 variety from Russia by the wonderful breeder Zagallon. I got my seeds from Lydia Stafford from Carolina's Paradise. This is an F6, I believe now. You can get seeds also at Tomato Eden. Let me see if I've got the link. Oh, I was going to put the link to get Raspberry Beret directly from Bill Yoder, which is always good. Getting directly from the breeder is always a plus. Here is the listing on his site, which is rockstartomatoes.com. And let's see if anything else I've talked about I have. Nope, not yet. Okay, got some more coming up. You can get this one, I'm almost positive, at Tomato Eden, which is tomatoeden.net. I'm a big fan of Zagallon's work. I grew a few of his last year. I grew Mordovian Malachite. I grew Green Rhapsody. I feel like there was one more also. Can't think of it off the top of my head. But this is a nice green striped one. He says it's a new breeding release, very productive mid-season tomato variety. Indeterminate, grows 6 to 6.5 feet tall or 180 to 200 centimeters. Best grown in one stem with regular pruning and staking. You don't hear that a lot. You often hear, when I read these each week, you often hear best grown in 2 stems, at least 2 stems, but you don't hear best grown in 1 stem very often. Produces huge flower trusses that set many medium-sized fruits. The fruit clusters weigh 6.5 to 7.7 pounds are not uncommon. That's the cluster, not the actual fruit. 3 to 3.5 kilograms. Fruits are small to medium size, green when ripens to mustard green color with bold dark green stripes. It looks great. Around the stem, especially in full sun, develops striking anthocyanin blushes. Not crazy about that. This variety may produce both round and plum-shaped fruits, often with a pointed nose. Flavor, juicy, tender green flesh, pronounced fruity aroma, very good flavor. Zagallon himself says it's one of the sweetest varieties he's had and continues producing until frost. Anybody grown this one? Pretty's growing it this year. You have to let us know what you think. I just love this show, Lauren. You always have the best info and pictures of things I have heard the name of but never researched. That's a big compliment. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Like I said earlier, I'm a very visual person, and like I have these orders from Tomato Eden that go back a couple years now that I still have yet to log. I log things from time to time, especially doing this show. I'll log things and then I'll put them away just for the show. But this is one I have to admit, same with you, Mary. Like I heard of it, I knew I had seeds, but didn't really spend time to research it. I just, like when I on Tatiana's site, I'm like, that looks good, click, and then I forget all about it. Anybody else growing tar tops? Melissa agrees. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the vote of confidence. I have a lot of fun doing this show and researching, and I'm glad you guys enjoy it too. No other tar tops? All right, moving on to the next one. Pritchie, you'll have to let us know what you think. Do a review in the group when you get ripe fruits. They look fantastic. They really do. Next one, Alberta Peach. This one has fuzzy fruit and fuzzy plants. Woolly foliage is something we actually have. I don't know how updated it is, but if you go into our group guides, we have a spreadsheet for varieties with variegated foliage, and we have one for woolly foliage also. This one is both. It's got the woolly foliage and fruit. hence the name peach, because it's fuzzy like a peach. Carolina's Paradise is where I got my seeds from. It's a determinate. Alberta peach tomatoes are a novelty variety of tomato that are fuzzy and bright orange red with gold stripes. They are about 1.25 inches in diameter and weigh about 1.25 ounces. The tomatoes are more acidic than sweet and have a texture similar to a nectarine. They are ideal for salads, garnishes, and gourmet dishes. Croatian Seed Store says it's mid-season, 85 to 95 days. Again, determinate, unusual variety. Skin is orange-red and is striped with a golden yellow. Tomatoes are small, about 60 to 80 grams, and are round to plum-shaped, has a unique flavor, and is quite tangy. Fuzzy foliage. I have to admit I'm not the biggest fan of fuzzy foliage fruits. I've grown a couple micros that had it. Allure is one. There's a couple others too that I'm not thinking of. And then last year I grew Fred Martinez by Angwe, which I actually did like. Those fuzzy foliage, fuzzy fruits. I know Jess is growing Fred Martinez, and the seedlings when they're little, they're just so cute. They're like little pets because they're so fuzzy. So a lot of times they are more a novelty thing because it's quite impressive to have woolly varieties. I know Tom Wagner's got several too. Has anybody eaten Alberta peach? I like the look of Alberta peach. And Dana says this has been on my wish list forever. I think I have a link where you can get it, do I? I do. You can get it at Carolina's Paradise on Etsy. Her name's Lydia Stafford. She is in TLC. Really nice person. She's got a lot of unique varieties. Putting the link in the comments right now. There you go. And I'm pretty sure they're in stock too. Jen's growing a lot of fuzzy ones. She is. Jen really likes all the fun foliage and stuff. I'm not really like that. I don't know why. They're cool. I guess if I had unlimited space, I would. But I'm pretty much flavor. Looks are great too. I have to admit, I'm growing a bunch of Kina's crosses. Well, I'm growing 3 of Kina's crosses, but 4 plants. And she's doing a lot of variegated stuff. And oh my God, are they gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Her first foray into breeding, she's quite the talented girl, our Kina. So I can't wait to see what they produce. The fruits do look like they're going to be great from the picture she shared last year. But both she and I, with our indeterminate and dwarf varieties, we're only a couple of years into it, so they still have a long way to go. But yeah, the variegation, and right down the stem almost looks like a candy cane on a couple of them. They're just absolutely beautiful. But yeah, in general, I'm not the biggest, like I don't seek out unique foliage. I will seek out like potato leaf, but I'm not seeking out like carrot leaf or variegated or fuzzy. Not really. But if it tastes good, I am, that's for sure. You're welcome. Hope you go check her out. She's got a lot of great stuff in her shop. All right, next one. I've had these seeds for a while. It's known by a few names. Zolotoi Larets, or it's otherwise known as golden casket. I got my seeds from Lux Tomatoes, the woman who runs that, but I don't think she lists it on her site. I think that was just from a trade that we did, but these look fantastic. The photo on the right is from tomatenflüster.com, otherwise known as the potato whisperer, the tomato whisperer. He's in Austria. He says the origin of Zolotoi Larets, also known as gold box or golden casket, is uncertain, but the variety likely originated in Ukraine. It was presented at the Seed Savers Exchange in 2007 with seeds provided by Gary Millwood of Kentucky. Tatiana's Tomato Base then commercially introduced this variety in 2014. The Golden Heart tomatoes reach a weight of 300 to 600 grams. The larger tomatoes up to 800 grams are also possible. The fruits are very juicy and have a pleasantly sweet taste. Despite the sparse foliage, the plants are robust and productive. Heart-shaped, light orange, juicy, and sweet. Oh, maybe that's what I got it from. Maybe it was a gift with purchase. Probably pretty likely. Thanks, Julia. Just as Fred Martinez is indeed the cutest plant. Even now that it's big, it's still distinctive looking and fun to pet. And the shape of the leaves is really cool, isn't it? They're more rounded. I grew 2 plants of that, one in a raised bed where it did great. And then I had an extra plant, and I already have a problem getting rid of extra plants. But like when it looks like that, when it's like your pet, you can't just put that in compost. So I stuck one in a grow bag. But it was slow to go for producing fruit, but once it started, they're really, really beautiful. I wonder if I can pull up a photo real quick. I should have a slide here. Hang on. For those of you that may not know what Fred Martinez is. Yep, here it is. Let me show you. Again, this is a variety bred by Angwei ES, named for a LGBTQ youth who was killed in the Native American community, otherwise known as Two Spirits. So there's a great story behind it. But this is Fred Martinez. Now, I'm sure you're looking at it saying it's yellow, it's antho, it's got woolly leaves. That's like not up my alley, but it actually was really tasty, and it did not have the heavy antho flavor that I don't like. So I'm glad some of you are growing it this year. It's a really fun one. All right, where were we? Back at Raspberry Beret. Golden Casket. Anybody grow this one? You're right, it does look very different in both photos. One's more of hearts, the other's not so much hearts. He doesn't say, he does say they're hearts, even the photo on the right, Thomas. So perhaps those photos aren't showing the real heart, because he says they are hearts. Yeah. I love unique foliage on plants. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but I'm not going to seek it out just for the foliage. If it's like a cool bonus, I'm all over that. But I'm not, I've got enough room for like 200 plants, not including micros, which I put in my green stalks. And right now I'm doing my own breeding work, which I need handfuls of spots for, like, to grow as many plants as I can. So I'm not seeking out cool foliage just for the foliage. But Jen, she's got unlimited space with Materville, not Tomatoville, Materville. So, all the power to her. And she's a lot younger than I am. All right, next one. Tennessee green. How have I not grown this before? I have no idea. Oh, wait. Stop the presses. Pretty's growing golden casket. Don't remember where I got my seeds from. And Mary says, both of my Fred Martinez plants got snapped almost all the way to the ground while we were on vacation in Hershey. I was super sad when I walked the garden when we returned home. What a bummer. I wish I had thought to upload these photos, but last week I shared the show last week, as a matter of fact. So the day after I did my garden tour, which would have been last Thursday, we found that a little critter who I've been talking about on my garden tours for a couple of weeks is eating my beans, eating borage, eating cucumbers, like all these things that normally don't have, don't get bothered by pests. I was blaming it on these little red squirrels. And then I found that 2 of my tomato plants and grow bags were like just snapped, like from the soil, maybe only a couple inches up, and the whole top of the plant gone. That's when I knew it was a groundhog because we've had that in years past. Um, One was a variety I'm growing. These, thankfully, they were both duplicate extra plants, but one is called Alba Aurelia um, Pink, which I was given seeds for from Joe Raris. It's a pink from Romania. He was going to call it Romanian pink. I told him there already was one, so he had me name it, and I named it after the town that the person from Romania was from. So there was that one, and then Verderon, which is a green when ripe um, Spanish one that not a lot of information's about. So I was crushed. Even though there were duplicates, I was crushed. Let me tell you, I'm taking pictures because both of those plants are coming back with a vengeance. Verderon especially had no leaves on it. It was just stem. All of a sudden it's got leaves. Alba Iulia pink, you wouldn't even know anything happened. And it's been a week. So pretty exciting stuff. Tomato plants are really resilient. But I'm sorry to hear about your plants, Mary. I don't know if there's an option for them to come back or not. But I was really surprised about my Verderon. I was going to discard that completely and put something else in its place. And then all of a sudden, it started developing these little side shoots. I didn't think that one could, but it did. All right, anyway, Tennessee Green. This is a variety that comes from Kids Seed Company, one of my favorite vendors. They're wonderful, wonderful family runs it. And this one of their kids, they run it with their children. Like literally, the children are actually involved. It's not just they say that they're very involved. And this one, I don't think it sold anywhere else other than Kids Seed Company. Tennessee Green, they say the big fruits of this beefsteak tomato stay green when fully ripe, and the plants are vigorous producers yielding fruits that average 1 pound. The biggest Tennessee Green tomato we've grown was over 2 pounds. The flavor has a good balance of sweet, acid, and citrus tones, and it's a perfect variety for sandwiches or on salads. You'll fall in love with the lime green flesh, and if you like growing rare and unusual tomatoes, this is a great variety. It is indeterminate. They say the parent seed of our Tennessee Green tomato is given to us by friends who farm in the rural and mountainous community of Flag Pond, Tennessee, which is very close to Sam's Gap and the state line between North Carolina and Tennessee. They've grown the variety for as long as anyone in their family can remember. This looks delectable. I don't know why I have not grown it. I'm such a big, for those of you that may not know, I'm a huge fan of green when ripe tomatoes. Let me get you a link. I think Kids Seed Company, they're on vacation at the moment. They are away, but you can still place an order. And here is a direct link to this one. I'll be talking about another one of theirs in a couple minutes. And you can check them out, kidsseedco.com. Really, really, really nice people, too. They put out an announcement last week, so I shared about this one a couple times. I shared about it when they first released it, and I shared about it on one of my grow list videos. I'm growing this one this year. This is their own creation called Hurricane Helene. Proceeds from the sales of this tomato are going to the Hurricane Helene Effort Relief Fund down in North Carolina. They were greatly affected by that, as were their friends and neighbors. But they released an announcement last week that they are all sold out. They're officially sold out of Hurricane Helene tomatoes for this year. They will have more at the end of August. So I'm really psyched to be growing it. I saw my first fruit on the plant. I'm growing one plant. I saw my first fruit yesterday. Like most hearts, it is a very wispy plant. Who else out there is growing Hurricane Helene? I know many of you are. Is Tennessee Green a dwarf? I don't believe so, no. They say it's an indeterminate. They don't say the height. But no, I don't believe it's a dwarf. Have I grown this one, Hurricane Helene, do you mean? Or Tennessee Green? Neither one. I'm growing Hurricane Helene now, though. Very excited for that. They say they crossed it with, I think, Hungarian oxheart. I could be wrong. I think that's one of the parents. and they sell that one too. But I'm really happy for them that they sold out their very first release. Um, oh, Susan, my Hurricane Helene seedlings died. What a shame. That's a bummer. It is a little bit of a drama queen in a way, but Oxheart tomatoes are like that. They get very wispy. My casino plants are like that too. I mean, they're healthy as anything, but they're now tall, but they're very wispy. Um, but yeah, Oxhearts can definitely be drama queens. But I haven't. It was slow to grow in the beginning, I think, but now it's going gangbusters. Um, Julia's got it growing. Yay! Yay! Can't wait to help get the info out on this one with all you guys and the seeds, of course. All right. Next one is another one from Zagalin. Why I didn't grow this one this year, I have no idea. Mordovian Blush. Zagalin from Russia has a whole series. He's got a couple of series out of tomatoes. One of them is Mordovian. So I mentioned a couple minutes ago I grew last year Mordovian Malachite. There's a whole bunch of Mordovians, Mordovian chocolate, Green World of Mordovia, like a whole bunch. This one is such a me tomato. I don't know how it passed by me. Not sure. Cultive Teru in France also sells it, as well as Tomato Eden. Cultive Teru no longer sells to the United States, but Tomato Eden carries it. Let me give you guys the link in the comments. I think thinking of Tennessee Suited, that one is a dwarf. Yeah, that is a dwarf for sure. Tennessee Green. No, I have not grown it yet, but I'm going to have to add it to my grow list for next year. Misty's growing Hurricane Helene. Good. I got bumped off my list too. I know. What are we thinking? What were we thinking? I'm not even sure it made it to my list. That's just mind-boggling to me. Let's find out about it. It was released in 2021. Selection was conducted over 3 seasons. Bush is indeterminate, reaching a height of up to 2 meters in the greenhouse. Potato leaf foliage too. Really, what was I thinking? Optimal formation is 2 stems. Bicolor fruits are round, uniform, weighing 200 to 300 grams. Pinkish red spots appear on the main greenish amber background. Flesh is olive green with pinkish red streaks when cut. Tender, juicy with a very pleasant sweet taste and a strong fruity aroma and aftertaste. Yields are good both in the greenhouse and in the open ground. Cultive Teru says the flavor is exceptional. A clever blend of aromas, fruity, a tomato to discover. Tomato Eden says the fruits weigh 200 to 300 grams. Good yield. Anybody growing this one this year? I don't know what I was thinking. Lydia Stafford from Carolina's Paradise, who I've already mentioned a few times in this show. We've done some trades, and she sent me last year, she sent me just about every Zagalin tomato release that there is. Like, she got them directly through him. So it's quite an honor. So I had to go through all of them and be like, you know, I knew I had to grow Mordovian Malachite. That one I think I got from Tatiana, Tomato Eden, because that I was looking for sure. But Green Rhapsody, Lydia gave me a whole bunch. So how this one escaped me, I don't know. The Mordovian Amber is another one that looks good. Sounds like something I'd like. Never heard of Mordovian Blush. It sounds like a good one. It does, doesn't it? I didn't know that Cultive Teru sold any of Zagalin's varieties, so that was a bit of a surprise to me. For those of you that just joining, we have a couple minutes left of the show. Make sure you type in #tomato. We've got some great seed prizes, donations from Secret Seed Cartel, where my new collection has been released. You can check out Lauren's Awesome Sauce collection. There's a tab there, and seeds that I've donated that he is selling just to get out into circulation. $1 from the proceeds of those will go to the Lupus Foundation of America. I've lived with lupus since I was 32 years old, and always looking for ways to help. They actually do. Lupus Foundation of America has great thrift shops. I've never actually been to one, but they will come to your house and take donations of clothing and books and housewares, and they send me a text. Do you have anything? Like every couple months or so, and I leave it out, and they pick it all up, and 100% of the proceeds from that also go towards research. So I'm a big fan of some organizations. They like very little goes to research. This one is a good one. Mordovian blush is gorgeous. I agree. It really is. Again, I shake my head like, how did this? I've had the seeds. Why did it escape me last year and this year? I don't know. I knew what you meant, Linda. Okay, this is a nice pink called Kolb. I got my seeds from Sandhill Preservation Center. They listed it as Kolb pink, but most places they call it simply Kolb. Tatiana's tomato base says seeds came from Kolb Greenhouse in Storm Lake, Iowa, 50 plus years ago in the 1940s, 1950s. Indeterminate, regular leaf. Oh, shoot. Oh. Rats. Or wait, was it this one? Oh, I guess I didn't put on my list. There's a whole variety I did all this research for today, including photos of like this old seed catalog that it was listed. Oh yeah, it didn't make the list. I'll have to put it on next week. I don't know how I did that. I was most excited about that one, I think. I found the listing in this 1921 Malls seed catalog. Huh. Oh well, something to focus on next week. Anyway, back to Kolb. 50 plus years ago, which means it is technically an heirloom. There isn't any standard. When somebody in the group asked recently what constitutes an heirloom, there isn't anything set in stone that says must be 50 years old or older. That doesn't exist. Craig LaHoulier, author of Epic Tomatoes and co-founder of the Dwarf Tomato Project, he believes it to be 50 years. I believe Brad Gates does also. To me, it sounds good. The term heirloom, the definition is something that spans generations. So, 50 years is a good generation swing, right? But the problem is a lot of vendors will use the term heirloom about new tomatoes that are actually open pollinated. Basically means it's not a hybrid or a F1 hybrid that people sell like a Sun Gold. So that's where the confusion comes in. People will say it's an heirloom, and if it's a new tomato, it's not an heirloom. It could be open pollinated, but we've talked about this on the show before. I'm just repeating this for those that may have missed it. Okay. Indeterminate, regular leaf, large pink beefsteaks up to 1 pound, very good flavor. Seed Savers says, introduced in the 1983 Seed Savers Exchange Yearbook by Sally Jo Baldwin, who received the seed from her aunt, Mrs. Art Lunt. She indicated that the seeds originally came from the Kolb Greenhouse in Storm Lake, Iowa. Good yields of 1 pound pink beefsteak fruits with rich tomato flavor. Yummy. 85 days from transplant. Pink beefsteaks, indeterminate. Fruits grow to 1 pound, rich tomato flavor, and good yields. Oh, blah, blah. Thank you. I appreciate your donation. Thank you so much. Any little bit helps. I do pay for EV Mux, the platform, and of course Canva and everything that I use to put on the show. So every little donation helps. I appreciate your support very much. Eric, I was ready to toss my cold plants early as they seemed too flimsy. I planted one anyway, and now it's one of my healthiest plants. Oh, good. I'm glad somebody's growing it. You'll have to let us know what you think. Definitely let us know what you think. I tell you, the photo on the right comes from Renaissance Farms. Very rarely will I take a picture from them. Very rarely will I quote anything he says, because where years ago he was a good, viable business, he no longer is. I believe he hasn't grown a tomato in years. So I don't know what people are getting when they get seeds. Some people aren't getting seeds when they order from him. So we don't even allow mention of them in the group. If somebody tries to mention Renaissance Farms, it gets kicked back from Facebook. But I really wanted an interior shot, and that was the only one I could find, or maybe the best one I could find. But I don't I don't really endorse vendors. I am a big fan of many of them, but I would encourage any of you to stay far, far away from ordering from Renaissance Farms. They used to be good. He's now moved on to other things in his life, and it's not tomatoes. And I know that for a fact. Kolb, anybody else growing kolb? Anybody grown it in the past? All right. We've got one more. Two more. Next one is Dirty Girl, which I think I've talked about before, and maybe I forgot to put it on the list. This is one I got from Common Sense Seeds, wonderful company I love up in Canada. They are now shipping again to the United States, so for those of you that were disappointed that they weren't, they are now. Common Sense Seeds says it's a great tasting tomato that thrives in low irrigation conditions. Why is it called Dirty Girl? Dirty Girl tomato is named after Dirty Girl Farm in Santa Cruz, California, where farmer Joe Shermer discovered this tomato in a grow-out of the famous hybrid tomato Early Girl. His grow-outs of Early Girl revealed a potato leaf plant that thrive, and look at the potato leaves on this thing, they're huge. After 13 potato leaf plant that thrived in low irrigation conditions. After 13 years of growing Dirty Girl in low irrigation conditions and selling the tomatoes at the local farmers market, Joe shared seeds of this now stabilized open pollinated variety with other growers. We can confirm that this tomato does well in low irrigation conditions. So for those of you out in desert states or whatever, this might be the tomato for you. We planted Dirty Girl in a south-facing garden patch that gets a lot of heat and limited water. Dirty Girl thrived despite these challenges. They're saladette-sized tomatoes, 50 to 65 grams, have very good flavor, sweet and tangy. They also have a very good firm texture and last off the vine a long time. And then the Dry Farming Institute has a listing of it also. Do they say anything that I didn't already say? Originally taken from second-year volunteer tomato plants that germinated in a field planted the previous year with Early Girl tomatoes. When dry farmed in western Oregon, Dirty Girl has yielded 33% more and shown lower incidence of blossom end rot than Early Girl. Is several weeks later to mature than Early Girl, yields small tomatoes closer to a saladette than a slicer, and is very flavorful and deep red in color. And then Garden Fairy Botanicals, which is where the center photo was taken from. They say an exceptional dry farming variety. There was something about flavor. Oh, very intense tomato flavor. I'm all over that. I grew these 100% without water by putting the seeds in the ground. Nature took care of them. Strong seeds to have survived heat waves, drought, and poor soil. Anybody grown Dirty Girl? If you're going to dry farm tomatoes, Dirty Girl is one of the best. Good to know, Eric. Thanks. I know, Mary. I have to admit the name got me too. I want to just for the name, very clever name. Renaissance Farms you talking about? I ordered from that place last fall and never got my order. I'm sorry to hear that. We don't have it listed in our vendor master list. If you look, that is not mentioned there. It's been happening for a few years now. It's really unfortunate. I think he started with health issues. He no longer has those same issues. He's just, I wish he would just close his shop. I don't know what the big deal is. Close your shop, because some people are getting seeds. I don't know if they're getting correct seeds or not. And then others have waited years for them. People are filing PayPal. They're filing against him, and he's finding a way around it. It's like a whole mess. And I'm not I'm not saying anything I don't know for a fact. Jen, Keena, and I discussed what to do about this. Pretty much as soon as we started the group, this drama started happening. And so we just agreed. We don't do drama in the group at all. There are some other vendors who not a fan of, that we don't allow mention of. So we just decided to not put out a grand statement, but we also won't allow them to be mentioned in the group. So that's why I wanted to give a caveat here of I'm using his picture, but this is why. But you will rarely see me even mention him because I don't want to contribute to people not getting their seeds. Exactly, just close the site. I know. It's theft is what it is. All right, one last tomato, and we have another one from Kids Seed Company. Mountain Sun. Because this is the last tomato, gang, now's your last chance to get in #tomato to win a seed prize. Just put it in the comments. And we've got a t-shirt from Secret Seed Cartel to give away, thanks to Jeff Rainmaker. 2 $25 gift cards, and then seeds from Mike Williams and Olivia Lai. Just type in #tomato. Okay, Mountain Sun. Oh, Nancy, thank you very much. I appreciate your donation. Means a lot. Thank you. We'll go to a good use with continuing to put this show on. I appreciate it. Mountain Sun, it's another one from Kids Seed Company. Let me get you the link. Again, they're on vacation right now. I think on their website they say when they will be back. But I know they're one of the great things I love about Kids Seed Companies. They travel all over France. They've got family and friends all over the world, and they bring back seeds from these places where they travel, and that's what they sell a lot of the time. And they just have the most beautiful website, great pictures. I mean, look at this interior shot. I'm not even a huge orange tomato fan, and even I want to grow this thing. They really have stellar photos. I was sharing in a post yesterday, not in TLC, but elsewhere, about how important I find photos to be. And hang on, I'm putting the link to this in the comments right now. Some vendors have the worst pictures. So many of them, like, they'll take a picture of an unripe fruit. I don't get it. Like, you put it stem side down on the counter, in a day or two, it'll be fully ripe. I don't know what the rush is, but these pictures are perfect. I have a lot to say today, don't I? Very controversial. Kids Seed Company says this beautiful yellow-orange tomato comes to us from the breeder, one of our garden mentors, Juan Dean. Juan is a master gardener here in Asheville, North Carolina area, who selected and improved this variety in the early 1980s from seed stock that he acquired in Guatemala. The Mountain Sun tomato is a big beefsteak variety with exceptionally low acid and beautiful yellow flesh that becomes more of an orange shade as the fruits mature. The flavor is rich and great for many applications, from fresh eating to sauces and canning. The fruits generally have few seeds and they average about 1 pound. They are indeterminate. Yeah, that's it. Mountain Sun. Has anybody grown Mountain Sun? Is there a guide somewhere of who not to order from or who not to mention? LOL. No, because we don't do drama in TLC, but I will tell you right now, Renaissance Farms and M.I. Gardner, both are grifters. Trying to think of if there's anybody. There are a couple others I'm not a huge fan of, but those who intentionally lie to people and are bad for the tomato industry, Renaissance Farms and M.I. Gardner, for sure. It is beautiful, isn't it, Mary? I know. And again, I'm not even a huge orange fan. Love that color. This is green apples. Sounds like one I need, says Linda. Oh, Wildman, number 14 on my grow list, growing it now. Please let us know. Oh, and Misty's growing it too. You guys have to let us know what you think. It looks great. This looks like a great one for golden tomato sauce, doesn't it? It really does. Hey, Tiffany. couldn't get my phone to work. I'm here, and thank goodness you record this. Green Apple says, haven't grown mountain sun, but I want to. That interior looks absolutely delicious. It does. It does. I like the way they did it with Tennessee green also. I like the way that they, I mean, I really like for the interior shot, I really like the cross section shot like they have in the left photo, but I really like the wedges too. Let's go back to Tennessee green. They did it with that one also. It's really a sharp look. Kind of gives you an all-inclusive photo, doesn't it? All right, that is it for tomatoes for today, gang. So next week I've got at least 3 that I forgot to mention today that I have to remember to put on my list for next. Oh, wait, not next week. 2 weeks. No show next week. Unless our plans totally change and we're not leaving until Friday. No show next week. So for those of my fellow comrades in the United States, happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Hopefully be wearing our red, white, and blue and celebrating this wonderful year. I sure will. My dad's they have like a little parade in Eagle Rock in their community. And I guess anybody with a convertible can be in the parade. My dad's got a convertible, so I volunteered to be in the parade with him. And then one of the things Rob and I look forward to every year is down at like it's kind of like a big old pavilion, kind of like Carlisle, a little bit bigger than Carlisle. They have a Name That Tune every year, and Rob and I are like really good at it because I'm really good at like 80s, 70s one-hit wonders. Like I can remember, just like I can remember stuff about tomatoes and nothing else in my life, I can remember like one-hit wonders from the 80s. I challenge anybody to be able to beat me. So we enjoy the Name That Tune. I think that's Friday night. We'll be doing that with the fam. All right, let's give away some prizes, shall we? Here's our giveaway tool. Let me restart. Okay. So let's first we'll do Olivia Lies. Olivia, again, if you missed the first of the show, she's giving away 10 varieties. Orange Russian Oxheart, Oaxacan Jewel, Nemu Variegated Dwarf. I grew that one a couple of years ago. That was a good one. Midnight Sun, Marcia Starfighter Beefsteak, Monkey Ass, Mushroom Basket, Mademoiselle Fourier, Lavender Lakes, and Zebra Easel. I grew that one a couple of years ago too. I'm not sure if I've talked about that on the show. I should. It's a pretty purple green metallic stripe one. So thank you, Olivia. If you win this, you can contact her. Private message her. There's her name there. And let's give it away. Congratulations, Quincy. You can contact Olivia directly. And thank you, Olivia, as always, for your donation to the show. And then the next one is from Mike Williams. He's giving away to 2 people 10 of his varieties. Mike, for those of you that may not know, he's responsible for Hazel Creek. Mike, I saw a fantastic review from a member. It's not in the group. I don't think it's in the group, but she had it on her personal page for Hazel Creek. She got seeds from the ultra rare seed swap last year. And she quoted a little bit of mine, making sure you get the potato leaf and all that. She loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Like I do. I've got 2 plants growing this year. So anyway, Mike is responsible for getting those seeds and bringing them out into circulation. He's also given me seeds for another obscure North Carolina variety called Ruby Ore, and I'm growing 3 plants of that. So looking forward to giving those out, and a good friend of mine is getting a plant for that also. So excited for that. So anyway, thank you, Mike. This goes, these 2 prizes are from him. If you win, you can private message on Facebook, Mike Williams. If you're not on Facebook, I will give my email address in a couple minutes. You can contact me. But if you're on Facebook, if you can please private message Mike. All right, first one for Mike's 10 varieties. We need some better sound. Hey, tomato PR, congratulations. You can private message Mike. And second winner. Samantha, congratulations, Samantha. Please contact Mike. Thank you again, Mike. The next prizes, there's three prizes given away by Secret Seed Cartel. I'm just going to repeat it again for those of you that, oh shoot, did I put it away? Where's screen share? Secret Seed Cartel has, I've donated some of my seed collection to Secret Seed Cartel. A lot of Sophia varieties. This is showing. Hang on. A lot of Sophia varieties, but other things as well. Jeff is looking to expand their varieties and is looking for outside sources as well as stuff he's grown himself. So there's Lauren's Awesome Sauce collection you can see there. And if you click on that, there's a whole bunch of things that I have donated. $1 from the sales, Jeff is going to be donating to Lupus Foundation of America. It looks like there's 3 pages of stuff. Hey, this one, if you guys don't have rose gold from Sophia Sakova, run, don't walk to get that one from Jeff. One of the most beautiful varieties I've ever grown. So I've lived with lupus since 2001. And so I didn't want to accept money for the seeds. I wanted it to be a donation. So we have that little compromise. So thanks, Jeff, for doing that. So you can check him out, Secret Seed Cartel. And don't forget, if you place an order, we have a forever coupon code TLC20 for 20% off, secretseedcartel.com. So Jeff is celebrating this, what do we call it? The Lauren's Awesome Sauce collection by giving away, first one is one of these USA and France t-shirts, Secret Seed Cartel. I love it. And we'll give that, and then the next 2 will be $25 gift cards. Thank you, Jeff. All right. And for these, you can private message Jeff, or you can email him at Secret Seed Cartel. I'm sure his website's on his, I'm sure his email is on his website. Oh, shoot. Well, it was Brenda Robertson. So, Brenda, you are that. I don't know why it's freaking out now. So, Brenda, congratulations. You can contact Jeff. And second one. Oh, that was the shirt. This is $25 gift card. Lexi Girl, 1993. Congratulations, Lexi. You get a $25 gift card to Secret Seed Cartel. And the second $25 gift card. Falcon in the Garden. Congratulations. You can reach out to Jeff and get your gift cards. Congratulations, everybody. If you're not on Facebook and you need to reach me, here's my email address. You can email me. I check email once in a while. Other than that, thanks, gang. I will see you in 2 weeks. Have a great 4th of July. I should be able to do, I'm looking to do a garden tour this weekend since I missed Wednesday. If for some reason I don't get to it this weekend, I will definitely do one on Wednesday before I leave because there's lots of great stuff going on in my garden right now, which is where I'm going right now. So signing off. Thank you guys for watching. I always have the best time with you. Peace and love. Get your gratitude on and go grow tomatoes and be kind to one another. We always do in TLC. We're always very kind. Thanks, gang. See you in 2 weeks. And let me start the music over. No music. Oh, man. That's always such a buzzkill when I want to play us out with music and it doesn't play.